Before we do anything,
Uh-oh.
I want to ask you, how was your day?
Oh my God.
I've been thinking about that a lot this week. How I haven't really. You've been asking me, but I haven't asked you. So I wanted to.
That's okay.
I wanted to not do
Aw.
anything until we. How is Savannah?
That's so nice of
Rose.
you. Ooh. My day today, I woke up. My only meeting today got canceled, which was glorious
Nice.
because I
It's
didn't want
always
to do
great.
it. I know. And then I took Aegon for a little walkie walk, and then I packed. I started packing today. You can see the
Yes,
state
I
of
noticed. I noticed
we
the
didn't
kitchen.
acknowledge it at all, but the
No.
state of my home is not.
I would, I was gonna go ahead and say in shambles, but it's not shambles yet. It still looks pretty
Not
fine.
yet. Yeah, it's gonna get there.
This is like normal for my home. You have just like random shit out.
It's not normal for my home.
Yeah,
My
no,
home is pretty, I would say, clean
It
most
is.
of the time.
It is.
Thank you.
And I strive to be like that one day. It's just I'm not there yet.
We can't all be me.
Right. It can't all be you. But good.
I packed. I hung out with my little friend boy a little bit.
That was an interesting way to put it, but yeah, okay.
A friend boy is a friend who is more than a friend who
Yeah, I
is
know.
less than a boyfriend.
I know. It just
Friend boy.
I guess for some reason it sounded like almost like a man boy or like almost like your little pet in a way.
I mean,
That's why
I mean-
that's what
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
For some
He's not
reason
my
that's
pet.
where my mind went. I don't know. I guess I've been hearing a lot about dominatrix lately,
Oh,
and so
okay.
maybe that's why my mind went there.
Yeah. No, he's I would not say that I dominate him in any way, shape, or form. I like to think so sometimes in my brain, but he would get very offended if he.
Well, it's kind of like how a cat sees their person, where it's like even though the person they can't live without, the person,
Yeah.
they still like look down on them. At least I feel like that's how my cat does. Too.
Yeah, as cats do. I am a cat, honestly. Like when it comes down to it, I'm a cat. So fair enough. But yeah, him and I hung out for a little bit during his break, and then I edited the pod.
Nice.
This most recent episode, got that done. I'm
Sick.
actually like being hella productive today.
That's really good. Yeah.
Shockingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're here.
I
How's your day?
It's great. I love.
I love.
My day was good. I woke up late again, but I made some coffee. I played some Stardew Valley.
Of course.
God, I need to admit, I feel like I've been slacking lately. Just in life. Like,
I thought you meant on Stardew Valley.
that too. My business is going to shit.
Oh no.
This person needs melons and they're not ready yet.
Gasp. How dare you not get them their melons in time?
Hey, climate change, okay?
Fair enough.
God damn it! It's like we need to gotta tell our congressman. No, it was, but it was good. I went to work. I had a peaceful. Oh, I read today. I started a new book.
Yes.
That's something I can be proud of. I started a new book that I downloaded Libby. I don't know if it was you who's talking about it.
I did.
And I had a book on hold, which kind of makes me laugh because it's a digital book.
I know it is kind of a funny concept.
Yeah.
But honestly, I love it.
Yeah. But and it was like exciting to get the notification that your book's ready. You can now read it. It's like, oh hell yeah! And I think I've talked about this before, where I've learned that it's best for me to read with the book in front of me and have the audiobook going, and I just follow along.
Yeah.
And I just love it. It's kind of like I'm watching TV. I just put it on my computer screen, and I'm just like following along with the text, and it's just been nice. And the book is like shockingly like very relevant to me. Like
Oh.
it really deals with a lot of issues that I'm dealing with, and it's really crazy just because like this is just something that came up. It was like it's a New York bestseller, New
Yeah.
York City. What are the New York Times?
New York Ci-
New York City's bestseller.
New York Times bestseller.
New York Times.
I think.
No, it is. It is.
Okay.
New York Times bestseller. Yeah, it was like globally #1.
Oh wow.
And it's called The Midnight Library. It's an interesting read.
Okay.
I'm on like chapter 3. I'm not super far, but yeah.
Fair enough. I just started A Tender Bar, which is
How is it?
the book club book for my book club.
For your book club.
And honestly, I wasn't excited to read it. I like had to read it, and I was just like, okay, whatever. I started reading it though, and honestly, I had the same experience as you. Is like I started reading it, and I was like, wow, I like relate to this character so fucking much in a way that I didn't think that was possible.
Right.
And I was just like so baffled by that, and now it's like I want to like speed through it. But like I need to read my other book before I read this one. So like I have to read A Little Life by the 26th for my personal friends book club.
Another book club, yeah.
And then I have to read A Tender Bar by the 29th for my job book club thing. But in A Little Life is 800 and something pages, and A Tender Bar is about 400. So I'm already like 150 pages through A Tender Bar.
Yeah.
And I need to like slow down a little bit because like I have to read A Little Life before that one. And I'm like also 100 and, oh no. I've made it to like 250 on A Little Life. So I need to get going. But it's like right now I'm like reading 2 giant books. I'm also editing the pod, and I'm also packing and moving, and I'm also doing my 4 other jobs.
So much more productive.
My life is just a little chaotic at the moment.
God damn it. I feel like...
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to like one-up you at all. I'm not.
No, I know you're not, but still. I'm just like, fuck, I need to get it together.
Let me motivate you a little bit.
Yes, please.
But also, it's okay to like take a step back. I feel like there's been point in times where you like really go in on your work too.
For
like
sure.
I'm doing absolutely nothing.
Oh, I love work binges. You know, I
love being productive.
That's why I can be kind of lazy as I am. Just because when I do work, it can be like long and just straining.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when I have my time off, because like I'm ready to work, I'm like trying to work. It's just nothing's like all the shit I use to put my name out there. Just no one needs people right now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I try to. At the same time, I'm like, you know, I'm focusing on other shit, and I don't want to make it sound like I don't do anything. I do a lot of things.
Right.
It just feels like it's just so common in my life now. Like I do it normally. It almost feels like nothing, just because it's so. I don't know. It's like a muscle memory now.
I get completely where you come from. I feel like I am a type of person that's constantly going at all times, and I've always been like really, really involved with everything around me. Like in college, it was like I did 18 credit hours on top of doing rehearsals, on top of having a job, on top of having a social life, like doing all of these things. And then it was like once I graduated and I wasn't doing anything, I felt like so useless, and like not doing anything like made me feel so terrible all the time, because it was like I went from doing everything and like all at once to like not doing anything, not getting a job right away, or like I had a job but it wasn't like a good job kind of thing. Like I don't know, like it made me feel very worthless and unproductive, and I didn't like it at all. But like also I think that we all need to go through phases where we just give ourselves a little bit of credit, and like it's okay to play video games. Everyone needs like something to like take their mind off of something. Like honestly, books for me right now are the same thing that video games are to you. So it's like just because you're not doing those things doesn't mean that you're that I'm any better than you.
Of course. It's like nothing like no, video games are fun, and they're fine. I mean, in moderation, too. I mean, you know, some people can go too long, but... and I also like to think that Stardew Valley is like a strategy game, and it's like helping me, like...
You're working those brain cells.
Oh, my God, yeah. I'm building a brewery right now.
Oh, you were telling me about...
Of a bee suburb. I have a bee suburb.
Why?
Yeah, because there's, like, cobble paths in between the blocks.
I'm impressed.
Thanks.
I couldn't do Stardew Valley. Like, it takes too much brain work for me, honestly.
It's just a lot of patience, I guess.
And I don't have any. It's non-existent for me, honestly. I always say that Aegon is my biggest lesson in patience, because this dog fucking drives me bonkers.
Yeah. Right.
But I love and adore him, and it's just the universe just teaching me a lesson.
Well, speaking of him, that's interesting because, like, I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, but he's been, like, out of our faces.
I know. I love those 3 calming treats.
Right.
They did something.
It's just funny because when I walked in, he was like crazy, but now he did calm me. I think that's just what dogs do. They just get excited that someone new's here. Yes.
Well, I think that it also helps that there was another person in the house earlier, and I think that he let go of a lot of he released a lot of energy at that point in time, because he was like really chaotic and trying to be like on top of us while we were on the couch then. So I feel like now he got that out of his system.
Yeah.
So the lesson here is I need to have a boy here before you come here. And,
prime him for me. To make them think that I've already, he might even think I've already been here.
I know, probably.
That's funny.
He's like, oh man, yes.
Cheers.
Cheersies. I don't know if you're one of those people.
I do. Well, okay. I do it mainly for shots, but I'll do it for beer.
Or do it for any
or
cheers.
In this case, Mike's Hard Lemon.
The first time I ever got drunk, it was my best friend's 16th birthday, and I was 15. And I remember my mom and her mom, they were best friends. And we were staying at my friend's house, and my mom snuck in a bunch of wine coolers and like cheap ass wine. And we drank them without her mom knowing.
But your mom did?
But my mom knew. She snuck them into us behind
her mom's back. Oh my
God. And I remember we got wasted off of a 6-pack of wine coolers and a bottle of Boone's Farm. I don't know if you know anything about wine, but it's like $3 bottle of sugar.
Oh, okay.
Essentially. And we were trying to hide it from her mom the entire time, but we were being loud as fuck because we were drunk 15 and 16-year-olds. And I remember at one point her mom came into the room and like to yell at us for being too loud. And we, like, our attitude shifted like that, and we were able to like save ourselves without her knowing. And then I just remember by the end of the night, I was throwing up pink because the wine coolers were pink.
My God.
And it was not good at all. But we got wasted off those wine coolers, and it was great, honestly.
Wow. That's amazing that you guys, you collectively chose to act like everything was fine.
We did not want to get in trouble.
Because like I just imagine like one person be like, shut up. Like just really like drunkenly like bitching her out or something.
No, we held it down. Kirsten, my friend, she was definitely way more drunk than I was. But I was able to cover her, and she covered me, and all was well. But yeah, that was a fun little story.
Skill. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't underage drink except, I mean, once in a while my parents would let me have a Mike's Hard when I was like 20. So I was basically old enough. But I didn't get drunk until my 21st birthday.
My mom was a bartender, and she made me, she also allowed me to make a lot of not bad choices, but she allowed me to do a lot of reckless things that most parents wouldn't allow their children to do. So, like, my mom dared me to get my nose pierced at 13.
Wow.
And I think she thought that I wasn't going to do it because I was, like, a little baby, kind of. Like, I was really timid as a kid. So I think she thought I wasn't going to do it, but I did it. And we also did it in the most sketchy-ass place in the world. So there was, like, this giant warehouse that is now like a Menards, to give you like an idea of the size.
Okay, yeah.
But at the time it was huge, and it was a bunch of stalls that sold things, but a lot of the times it was like counterfeit purses and Gibraltar Trade Center.
I've been there. Yeah. Holy fuck.
I got my nose pierced there.
No way. That's amazing.
Yeah, I got it pierced with a gun too, which is a big no-no. It's a big,
Are those only for ears, or?
Guns should only be for ears. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's my friend boy riding away in his fire truck. She that's where we got my nose pierced. And I remember we went to the stall. She like signed the forms to allow me to do it, and then she walked off and went to go look at rugs. And so I just sat there getting my nose pierced all by myself at the age of 13. I was like, okay, cool. You didn't even watch the dare that you like made me do. Whatever. But I've had my
anybody who hasn't been there, like, I don't know if they can imagine the chaos. I've only been there like once or twice.
Oh no, it used to be like a weekend like trip for
I
us.
wish
we
I
used to do it all the time.
I went because my ex-girlfriend, her family was huge into going out every week.
Yeah.
And so they would go, and then I just went with them one time, and I was just like, but I would pass it all the time. It was off a highway that I would take all the time.
It was the craziest thing because it was like you could go there, you could get like outfits, purses. You could also get like swords and guns, but you could also get stereos or pets. They had pets there. Like
crazy.
Literally, you name it, you can fucking get it at Gibraltar Trade Center. Like it was truly insane. And you can also get piercings and tattoos.
Wow.
I don't recommend. It's closed now. No one can do it. Thank God.
Oh, it's closed now.
Yeah, they turned it into a Menards.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe that's why I'm thrown off every time I drive home now.
Yeah, it's different now. But that is it's a very sketch place. So yeah, my mom, choice decisions, you know? Like I remember my first tattoo I got when I was 15, and I was like with my best friend, and my mom was in Georgia, and my best friend was getting one, and we wanted to get matching ones. Mm-hmm. And I just texted my mom, and I was like, hey, can I get a tattoo? And she was like, yeah, just make sure you don't regret it. I was like, sick nasty. Of course, at 15 years old, I'm like, I'm not going to regret this shit. And I got to say, I am not thrilled with the tattoo.
Do you want to share with what you got?
It's a little bow.
Okay.
Like a ribbon bow.
Yeah.
And it's on my hip.
Okay.
But I paid $25 for it and got it done in a couch in the living room of my friends of a friend of a friend.
$25.
$25
so you can't
for
expect it to be great.
And it's not. It's
That's funny.
It just like doesn't like make like logical sense, and some of the lines don't really connect. It's really bad.
It's abstract.
They were trying to. That's a great way to think of it.
They were trying to make you think.
I could definitely get it like touched up, and it'll look way, way better.
I mean, that could be fun.
Yeah, I need to go do it.
Just go go to a well-known good person.
Right.
There's so many of them here.
Yeah. So and I don't regret it at all. Like it's matching with my best friend, who is still my best friend.
Oh,
that's
adorable.
Like we've her mom and my mom were best friends. So like I've essentially known her since I was born.
Yeah.
And we're still really, really close, I would say. So it's absolutely worth it. But again, like a normal mom would be like, A, don't get a tattoo at 15 years old, and B, get a tattoo at 15 years old, but like get it done in a tattoo shop, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Where at least they know what they're doing.
Right. Yeah, no, this was it wasn't a great decision.
No, yeah. I mean, my parents would say the similar. I mean, they were more like, they would always just like be more intense about it. Be like, it's on you forever. Like if you get it, it's there forever. Like, so you shouldn't. Like, but they would. I feel like they wouldn't like directly tell us not to do something. They would just be like, it's going to affect your life.
Right.
Like,
no,
it's a choice that you can't go back.
Yeah, my mom just she truly gave zero fucks about anything, which is, fair enough. But she did make us really good shots whenever I had a party, because she was a bartender.
So better.
Fuck yeah. That was great. Yeah, R.I.P. Mom. You were great.
Oh, I never met her. I wish I did.
She was really fucking hardcore. She was all of my friends, like, I loved and adored her, but that was because she was a young mom. Like, she had me when she was 19, so she was young as fuck and the cool mom comparatively. So yeah, she was cool when she wanted to be.
Right.
We didn't always have like the best relationship, But still, she had her moments. Like daring me to get my nose pierced. I think that's a great story I get to tell now.
No, of course. And like,
and I still love my nose piercings.
And just it does say like how chill of a mom she was, that she's like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like she even dared you. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, wild.
Yeah. My mom was there when I got my ear pierced.
She was?
It was my sister's idea. She wanted my sister was always afraid to get her lobes pierced.
Really?
But she wanted to get just like one cartilage.
That hurts more.
I know. I never understood it. I love her, but I never understood it. She still has. I think she has more now around here.
Okay. I don't have any of those. I think it's gonna hurt me too bad. My ears
Yeah.
are way too tiny and sensitive.
Oh yeah.
Like even getting my second lobes hurt really bad. I had to get them pierced twice because the first time they got infected. I had gauges, so I feel like it didn't.
Oh yeah.
I don't
This
know.
got infected
Yeah.
Once. I got these two like 2 years ago, and then my mom came to. I got one before it closed up. I got one here, and the guy was so funny. He just didn't. He gave no fucks. He swore like a sailor. I remember. But he was really good at what he did. Like he had everything, and he like was cleaning my ear, and he was like talking to my mom or whatever. And then he's ready, grabs I think he just used a needle, and he goes, "All right, let's get this little fucker." And then he like holds my thing. But he was like this nicest, like most outgoing guy. But he was just like this like motorcycle gang dude, you know?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's great. I got my nipples pierced, and
I don't know how. That's up there with the tongue.
Dude,
how do you people do that?
The nipples was the worst pain that I've ever felt in my entire existence. It's not even the first nipple piercing. It's the second nipple piercing.
Why do you keep going back?
Well, no, you got to get both done. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
you get them
the
done at
second
same
one was
time.
worse?
Yeah, because all your adrenaline goes into the first one.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
it's like, it hurts, don't get me wrong, but like by time they get to the second piercing, it's like all your adrenaline's gone. All you're thinking about is the pain in the first nipple, and you just have to endure this second piercing. And it was true. I don't recommend it to anyone, honestly.
I'm not gonna do it.
I took them out after like 6 months.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they like weren't healing, and I like my nipples the way that they are. Just decided
True.
it wasn't worth the healing process for me.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
And it's just that's a very sensitive part of your body too.
Yeah, it just wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
You know,
I will never. I think the farthest I'll go is my nose. I got my nose done drunkenly in Las Vegas once, but then I had to take it out for a role I was playing.
I think you should do it again.
I'm good. I probably will. It's just the money. I don't want to spend it right now.
I'll pierce your nose.
I mean, we'll talk about it.
Do it for the pod. Do it for the content.
Maybe, if it's on camera, maybe. If it's a grand event, maybe I'll do it.
Ooh.
No, I want to do it again. It's just I just haven't gotten around to it.
Do you have any tattoos?
No, that's another thing I want.
Oh.
I just haven't gotten around to it.
I have like 3 more that I want to get right now, but I just am stressed with moving, I guess. Honestly, one of the tattoos that I want to get is for my mom, and her birthday's next week.
Okay.
And it'll be the first birthday that has passed since she has passed. So I feel like I want to get it done that day. So maybe if I'm not dying with my life by next week, I don't know if you saw my TikTok last night. I was at the bar last night, and I decided to leave, and I walked through the doors of my lobby around 12, which is pretty early for me, honestly, because I normally get home around like 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah.
If I'm working, I don't get home until like 5:30 a.m. So it's usually always the same doorman that's down there around those times, and he'll always see me come in. So usually he's taking a nap in some way, shape, or form. He finds himself his little positions, and it's really funny. But nonetheless, he sees me all the time. And I walked in last night, and he said, "You're early. Are you okay?"
Wow.
I just started like immediately dying with laughter because I just thought it was so funny that like he like knows that like I typically
Keeps track.
He was like, if there was a court case against you right now, I'd be able to use this against you because this is not normal for you at all. I was like, oh. He was like, you're a rock star. You're normally out until like 4 a.m. What are you doing back so early? I was like, I'm just really tired.
But I don't know.
I was like, thanks for calling me out.
I mean, it's maybe he thinks like you got like a sick life. It's just like, fuck.
No, I think he does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, little do you know, I just am at a bar reading.
Not all the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
95% of the time. But I just thought it was so funny that like he had the audacity to call me out like that. I found it really amusing and shocking to the system.
Well, I mean, what else is he doing down there?
I don't know.
You can only mop it so many times.
I
the
thought
floor.
it was so fucking funny though that he had something to say. One thing I wanted to talk about is I think one thing that's really, really crazy is how. So I'm going through a breakup, obviously. Not really anymore, I would say, but like it's still kind of weird certain days. But yesterday, I was just walking and I was on Instagram and I was going through stories, and then all of a sudden I saw someone post a story about how it was my ex's birthday, and I was just like, whoa. It's such an interesting concept or thought, I guess, that a day that could be so important to you at one point in time suddenly is just like meaningless, and like I didn't even realize that it was February 21st. I was just like I didn't even think about it, you know? And right. I feel like it's insane, like how, I don't know.
Did you feel some type of way? It wasn't even
about him. Like, I don't care. I could care less. But like, I mean, he's a good person, whatever. But like, I'm not like sad that I'm not with him. I was just like, it's just like so weird how life can change so wildly in such a short amount of time. Like, it hasn't even been 6 months and my life is completely different. There's things that I don't know about him that he doesn't know about me. Like, I have 2 more jobs since I've met him. I have brand new friends that he's never met before. And I'm sure vice versa, but it's just like such a crazy thing that someone could be a part of your life for so long and then suddenly they're just like a complete stranger to you. There's a song by Renee Rapp, and one of the lyrics is strangers to lovers to enemies. And I feel like that's like, not that him and I are enemies, but like that song was always like really intense for me because I was just like, damn, like it's crazy like how quickly like that can happen where like someone is such a huge part of your life and then no longer a part of it and your life has just completely changed. Yeah.
No, I think it shows like us humans are so used to like that. I mean, you guys were together for so long and you celebrated, 6, 7 birthdays with him?
6, yeah.
So, I feel like over that amount of time, you're going to get used to doing that. But I mean, it's good that like you didn't really, before you saw that post, you didn't really think of it.
Yeah, no. Like I've said before, like honestly, I am completely over the relationship. I know now that it wasn't supposed to work. It wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. Like honestly, we should have ended things a lot sooner, I think, the more that I like think about it. Just because
that's how most people see it after.
Right, yeah. But like we turned into roommates a long time ago and really stopped being in a relationship a long time ago. So like at this point it feels like I got over it a little bit too quickly, like when you think about it, but at the same time it's like when you keep that in mind that like we were just roommates for a while, like I feel like then it makes more sense and it's like, okay, yeah, like I was over this relationship a long time ago. I just didn't realize it and I was just holding on because it was so comfortable to me. Like that's how my life was for 6 years. Of course, it was like hard to let go of that concept of life and like knowing like I had a future in mind, and although it wasn't the right future, like it was my future that I knew I was going to have for such a long period of time, and now it's not, right? Kind of thing. So it was more so like when we broke up, I feel like I was more so mourning the life that I thought I was going to live rather than the human that I lost. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Like when I was like said after a breakup, my dad said breaking up with someone is like losing someone.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can't. Well, technically, you can't really speak to them because you both need time. You need space.
Right. Well, he's already with someone else too.
Yeah.
So, not that I want to talk to him though. I really feel like absolutely nothing towards that. Yeah. Honestly, like I said, it's more of the life that I was living that I'm sad about. Like I miss his friends. I miss his family, like, because they were my friends and my family for such a long period of time. So like that sucks. I miss him as being my friend because like he was my best friend for 6 years, you know. So like mourning the loss of having a best friend, having someone that you could go to and talk to all the time, like that sucks. But like I'm not like mourning the relationship anymore, like the romantically. So.
Yeah, I think we all crave comfort in some way.
Absolutely.
But it's we think that. I think in our minds we think that's happiness, but it's not really happiness. It's just like, because like I've been comfortable but still like unhappy.
No. And that's what I'm saying is like I was comfortable and I was unhappy. It just like it took the breakup for me to realize that, I think. Because like I think I knew in the back of my brain it was just like something that I didn't want to come to terms with, because like if I did come to terms with it, it would be real and then I would have to do something about it. And I didn't want to, because like once I do that, my entire life truly did fall apart when he broke up with me. Like it really did. Like
Well, I feel you've said you've done so much for him and the relationship. You know,
I moved to New York.
Moved here,
you know. Yeah. So it's like
so like when that happens, you're like, wait, what? What do I do now?
Yeah. Like, and also like his family again was my family. I don't have a family. I don't talk to anyone in my family. So like losing them like really fucking sucked. That split my world in two. Like losing his mom really fucking hit me because I had just lost my mom that year, and so like she was my only mother figure at the time. Yeah. And that really fucked me up. And then also just like the security, because like his family was really, really well off financially. And I am not. And so it was nice to be able to always fall back on that if we needed it, like together, like we both needed it. And now I don't have that. So it's like if I fuck up, I fuck up, you know? And that's like why like finding an apartment right now is so hard, because his family was always our co-signers every single year. And now they can't be, and I don't have anyone. So it's like, that sucks. But it's also not a reason to stay in a relationship. So like, whatever.
Right. That's just, it's just like poor timing or bad, just bad circumstances.
Yeah. But I am so grateful for that relationship. I did need it for a long time. Like it was really important for me to grow as a human being and everything. So I'm grateful for it. It was lovely when it was. I am happy that it is over. And so that's great. But I just thought it was such an interesting concept, the idea that like a day could be so important to you and then suddenly it's not, like, and you don't even realize it, you know? Yeah,
that's so true. But like, I know what you're saying about being like, you're good, like you feel good because you're going through a huge change in your life and you're really embracing the change and you're really trying to, make an even better life this next chapter. Which is great, but there's also just life things happening. Yeah. And it, if you let it, which I do, I can let it affect me.
Yeah, it's
like
hard
emotionally or just anxiety. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just sad for me because I feel like I'm not able to like really enjoy this stage in my life because of the depression, which sucks because, like I said, my life is good right now. I mean, aside from not having an apartment right now, my life is great. Like I have great friends. I have great people supporting me, great community. And like, I feel like my self-esteem has never been higher. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's never been higher. Like I feel really, really confident in me, and I feel like I'm finally growing into the person that I want to become. And it just is sad because I feel like the joy of those moments isn't as high as it could be just because my brain is just depressed, you know? And it sucks because it's like no matter how much I remind myself of all of these great things, it's like I'm still really fucking depressed.
Well, hopefully one day you'll have access to
Drugs.
Because I do hear they help.
They do.
I'm listening to Maria Bamford's book right. Oh, I actually just finished. Again, I have an audiobook, and she just talks about all the different types of meds she's done and how helpful they are just to keep her. I mean, she takes like antipsychotics, but
Okay.
it's just like, just finding that balance of the right meds and the right amount, can be really, really tough.
Yeah. It did take me a while to figure out the right antidepressants because I remember when I first started taking them, I was in college, and that was the most depressed I've ever been. Like, it was like I was, having suicidal thoughts and like really fucking going through it. It was the hardest point in my life for me, for sure. And I remember going to my college had access to counselors. And so that was my first like step into that. I never done therapy before, but like I decided to go see the counselor because I didn't know what else to do. And they actually were able to prescribe medicine. And so they prescribed Prozac to me. And I remember, I think it was Prozac. Is that an antidepressant?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they prescribed Prozac to me, and I turned into like a zombie where like I just was going through the motions of every single day but like not living. I was just there, and honestly like made me feel more depressed kind of. And I remember trying that, and it didn't work. And then I just like was so scared of medication that I didn't want to like try. Like even the counselors weren't great. And so it was like I was telling them my issues, and they weren't really making changes. They're like, oh, but you're getting a drug, like you should be getting better.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't make it any better. So I ended up stopping taking it because I didn't like being a zombie. And then I ended up in the hospital and wasn't doing well. And they gave me a choice. They were like, we can either put you in inpatient or you can go to therapy tomorrow. I was like, all right, I'll go to therapy tomorrow. So I went to therapy the next day, and luckily I started going to therapy, and that was great. And they were trying to find me a new medication, and they did put me on medication, but I remember it took 6 to 8 months, I think, to figure out the right dosage. Like, it wasn't even like changing the actual medication. It was just like figuring out which dosage was the right for me, because some was too little, some was too high. Like it was a real big sweet spot, and it was really tough finding it. But once I did, it like made a big change,
It takes time, doesn't it?
It takes a lot of time, because it's like you have to like give yourself enough time on that dosage to actually be able to notice any differences.
Right.
And I forget what the time amount is that you're supposed to take a medication to actually see what it is, but it's not a short period of time by any means. And you also have to like build up to every dose. Like, you can't just immediately start taking 10 milligrams of something. It's like, all right, you're going to take a quarter of the pill for this many days, then you're going to take half for this many days, and then you're going to build up to like one full pill kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you have to do that with every single dosage. And so it was such a time consuming thing, but it was well worth it. But I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't get, though, when they're going on to medication, is that you're not going to figure it out right away. And I know so many people who have tried medication and just say like, oh, it didn't work for me, and just like stopped looking and like still having a lot of issues. And like I always have to explain to them like, no, it's a process and you have to deal with it if you actually are like, if you think medication is right for you, because medication isn't right for everyone. Like I remember before I started taking it, my therapist was like, do you think you need it? And I was like, yes, I can't do this on my own. Like I needed the help. And so I was able to endure it, but like you have to want to endure it. Like you have to want to get better and go through that process in order for it to work. And I don't think a lot of people realize, and it's even the same thing with like therapy and finding a good therapist, because I know a lot of people too who have tried to go to therapy and they're like, oh, I just didn't like my therapist. And it's like, okay, well, you need to have a conversation with them. Either like try to figure out what works for you and what doesn't, and you could try it with that therapist, or you can just talk to like whoever you need to talk to find a new therapist. Like, not every person's going to be a right fit for you, but I know you're going to find someone that will be right for you. Like, obviously my first therapist was shitty. I actually, I ended up going on a Tinder date with her son and not knowing until we were on a date. Funny. And he was like, yeah, my mom's a counselor. And then I put the last names together and I was like, fuck me.
That's funny. That's like a sitcom situation.
Honestly, my life is a sitcom.
Your mom's who?
It was terrifying. Never went on a date with him and never saw her again.
Wow. I mean, I think it's like easy to break up with a counselor if you feel like it.
Oh yeah, she was shitty though. I remember like at one point she was like, "Yeah, so you're depressed. Stop being depressed." Or she was like, "Yeah, your mom just doesn't like you. Maybe you should fix it." And I was like,
what the fuck?
I was like, maybe I should fix it.
Do you remember how the date went?
The date, I think, like, was going okay until he told me that. And I was like,
fuck.
Yeah. I think we both knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a few therapists. Most of the time they've been, I honestly, all the therapists I've had have been pretty good.
I've only had the two, and the one was bad, and the other one had ADHD and loved horses, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to say something else, but I don't know what else to say. So,
say something.
I'm going to say.
Here's your platform is here. You have to say something now.
My platform. The lights. We are all souls playing the role of human beings, so therefore we should not take any of this too seriously. And I want to put that on record that, yes, I may have a name. My name is Colin, hi, but I'm just playing the role of myself. And I'm actually here, but it's like this is just a costume, I feel, and I just want to solidify that belief because it makes me feel a lot better about life, because it takes the pressure off me to where I can just enjoy living and my experiences and not judge every single one harshly. It just means like, oh, I'm just this soul. I'm just this little beam of light floating around, greeting people and like introducing myself. And yeah, I'm sorry that sparked something, but I just felt like I needed to say that.
I was not like prepared for how I thought you were gonna bullshit some shit, and then you come out here with that. That was deep as fuck.
It's been on my mind a lot.
Fucking amazing.
Thanks.
And I agree with everything that you're saying. I've read a lot of books that are talk about like similar topics of that, like the voice inside our head isn't us. You know, like it's not who
it's just like
we are.
It's a makeup of molecules.
Because it's like
shit.
you ask like the voice, like, who are you? And it's not you. Like you're the one talking to the voice. Like
right. We're observing ourselves.
Yeah. Yes.
We're like watching ourselves be somebody.
Like that voice inside you is fake. It's just your ego most of the time.
Fucking ego, man. Yeah.
Fucking ego.
I wish we could get rid of it, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
No, you just
So
gotta
it just
overcome it.
Yeah, well, you just got to learn to work with it.
You gotta
And
do the
hey,
lessons and
if
do
I
the
seem
work.
like I have a huge ego, I do, and I am well aware of that, and I'm really working on that. You know.
Yeah, no.
So, and I just want record. I want to put this another thing on the record.
Ooh.
I want to put this on the record that I know I have a
This is
huge
long
ego.
record.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm like looking down
It's
the
a
list, I'm
long,
like, damn,
long ass
okay.
record, and it's getting longer. All right, keep typing. No, I just made you like the person in the room, like in the courtroom.
I'm like annotating it. It's not. It's like one of the like courtroom typewriters where it's not
Right,
like the full
right.
letters. It's just
Right, it's just like yeah, your own little language that you can only read.
Yes.
The
Language of the soul.
language of the soul. I think
Deep as
that is the title of this this episode.
Wow,
Language
we're doing
of the
so
soul.
fucking good. We're ahead
killing
of
it.
schedule.
We're
Barely
killing
gotta
it.
edit this shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, was that a good one? I really got the side of your hand. Okay, let's try it again.
There we go.
Yeah. Aegon.
You have done nothing for this podcast.
You're so annoying. I think he's like high as
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
I think it is time for us to close out this beautiful, amazing,
Yes.
well-rounded episode.
Well-rounded, yes.
It was
I'm
funny,
proud
it
of
was
us.
deep, it was
And
sad and depressing,
yeah.
all of it.
well, yes, this was wonderful, and I can't wait to do it again. Like you act surprised, like really? We get to make another?
You like me? We're friends? I still get amazed every single time. I'm like, we're friends?
We've been now doing this for a month, a little over a
Yeah.
month. So yeah, I think we're friends. Yeah.
Friends?
Best friends forever.
Yeah.
Best friends forever. Ring. That's a SpongeBob reference. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Gian.
Okay. Bye.